Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another Ray White Bendigo in-room auction event. By way of introduction, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim Annett, and it is my privilege to be your auctioneer this evening. We'll work through these three properties that we've got on offer together this evening, ladies and gentlemen, three beautiful properties and your chance to own that gorgeous piece of Bendigo real estate. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, to our vendors who are all here this evening, thank you. Selling your home is never an easy decision to make, and certainly selecting the agent to represent you is even harder. We treat every one of these properties with pride, with pleasure and with privilege, so we thank you for trusting in us tonight. Our registered bidders that are here in the room and on the phone with us tonight, welcome. The best of luck to you all. You are the most important people in the room this evening. Everyone else, ladies and gentlemen, we're all just here to watch you spend your money. There's friends, there's family, there's neighbours and supporters in the room with us tonight. They're watching online. Thank you for coming along and helping to create the greatest atmosphere that we have in this room. These events rely on so much energy, and having you all here certainly contributes to that. There's a lot of work goes along behind the scenes in these auctions, ladies and gentlemen, and in the campaigns. Sophia, who's up here tonight with me, and Shanae down the back of the room, who you would have all met on the way in, giving you your drink cards and welcoming you through the door. Our campaign managers, they are the engine room behind these campaigns, ladies and gentlemen. They run through the marketing, they coordinate these ragtag bunch of sales agents that we've got running around the room tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and these girls keep everyone on track. One of the biggest things they have to do is actually keep the auctioneer on track too, so good luck. It's not always an easy task to keep us guys on track, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, the sales agents that are here tonight, they are here to help you in your bidding. If you need assistance, if you've got any questions at all throughout the process tonight, all these beautiful guys up here wearing the ties, we've got the girls wandering around as well. We've also got our property management team out the back of the room as well. If you've got any investment or property management questions, the girls are down the back there to be able to help you with some of that as well. Our media team, as I mentioned, we've got the live stream, so welcome to all of you watching through our live stream tonight. They've worked tirelessly on getting the presentation and the photos and the videos and everything that you'll see tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go too much further, you would have all also met Jessie over behind the bar. Once again, the drawing room hosting us this evening. Beautiful cold drinks, some lovely food. So make the most of the evening while you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into the first property tonight, there are some formalities that we need to go through. The auction tonight will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions made available prior to the commencement of tonight's proceedings. The rules do prevent an auctioneer from accepting any bids or offers after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The rules prevent false bids, it prevents major disruptions from bidding, and it prevents bidders from attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it provides significant fines for such conduct. Ladies and gentlemen, the vendors have reserve prices on their properties this evening. As the auctioneer, I will indicate bidders on request. The rules, however, ladies and gentlemen, do permit vendor bids, and I, as the auctioneer, am able to place a vendor bid, and the words I will use to indicate I am doing so are quite simply vendor bid. So before we get into it tonight, ladies and gentlemen, are there any questions in regards to the rules, any of the contracts that you may have seen over the course of this campaign or over the course of the evening? Lovely. We love the quiet confidence. Let's hope this is the quietest that the room is for tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the formalities. That's the paperwork out of the way. Now we get to the fun part.
Lensel Plaza and all amenities that Kangaroo Flat has to offer. 13 Mitchell Street is on over 900 square metres, perfect for investors, first homeowners or those looking for a subdivision project, subject to council approval. I'm Delaney Barker from Ray White Bendigo. Come check this one out.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first property on offer this evening is described on Certificate of Title, Volume 04059, Folio 759. Better known, ladies and gentlemen, to you, me and the postman as 13 Mitchell Street in Kangaroo Flat. Contract has been on display this evening and has been available throughout the campaign. It's a very simple contract, ladies and gentlemen. It's an unconditional contract calling for a deposit of 10% payable upon signing, with the balance to be paid anywhere up to the next 90 days, unless you have made prior arrangements through the team at Ray White Bendigo before this evening. You saw it all in the video, ladies and gentlemen. It's on that generous allotment right in the heart of Kangaroo Flat. The solid home that offers the opportunity for families, for investors, for renovators, anyone and everyone can get the joy out of 13 Mitchell Street. 3 bedrooms, the living spaces, that substantial block, which provides plenty of room to live today and grow tomorrow. Lancel Square across the road, the schools, transport, everyday amenities. We were sitting talking to the vendors of this property only a couple of days ago, and they were talking about this property being in the family for over 50 years, only been in the one family. The site of the old dairy in Kangaroo Flat, which you can see in the photos, there are still some skeletons of the old dairy in the backyard. So ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to go to you. 13 Mitchell Street in Kangaroo Flat. Where do we see that fair and reasonable opening bid or offer for this beautiful home in the heart of Kangaroo Flat? Maybe that quiet confidence wasn't the quietest we were going to be tonight, Darcy, after I asked if there was any question. 550. We'll take the 550 at the back of the room over here, ladies and gentlemen. Calling for a rise now of 20. We're at 550,000, looking for 20 on 570. 550 at the back of the room, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we go from here? 550. First call at 550. Second call at 550. 570 to the left over here, back at you again. Do we go to 590, sir? We're 570 over to the left here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an early night. The way we're going, we're going to get these knocked away really nice and quick. 575. I'll take the 575, ladies and gentlemen, because the reason we'll take that 575 is because we're actually on the market and we are going to be selling. So 575, same courtesy, back to you at 580, sir. Anyone else in the room? We're 575 at the back of the room. First call at 575. Second call at 575, 580 over to the left over here. Again, do we go 585? Do we go somewhere higher than that? We're 580 over here to my left. Anyone else in the room as well? 580 over to my left. First call at 580. Second call, 580 to the left. Third and final call, 580. We'll take the 1,000, 581, and I'm happy to come back to you again to go 582, or you could go to the 585. He couldn't go there, you could go there, and that might just knock him out, you never know. 581 at the back of the room over here, same courtesy. Back to you, 582, if that gets us there. 581 at the back. First call, 581. That quick night that I was hoping for, we might not get there. Do you know what? We'll take the half. Same courtesy, back to you again. So we're 580 and a half, 581 and a half, sorry. 581 and a half to my left, go back to you at 582. Are we definitely done? 582, another 500 bucks. It's not going to take that much. 581 and a half to my left. First call at 581. Second call, 5815. Third and final call, 5815. Remember that rule where I said you can't go late once the hammer drops? Are we all done and silent in the room? 581 and a half. Because we're going 582. There we go. You thought you had it, not quite. Rest assured, we give it plenty of time if we were selling your property as well, sir. 582 at the back of the room over here. Do we go another half to 582 and a half? 582 at the back. First call at 582. Second call, 582. 582. So you're at 582, you'd need to go to 582 and a half to get back in front. We'll go 582 and a half, there we go. 582 and a half back at you now to 583 or even higher. Go 585, you never know, you might just get it at that. 582 and a half to my left. Anyone else in the room, make yourself known right now. 582 and a half, first call. Second call, 582 and a half. Third and final call, 582.5. Are you definitely sure? 582.5. There we go. Do we go 585 now? He's taking the time. 585 might just get there. Go to 590, who knows? 600 might be a good bid too. Where are we going from here? Are we going another 500? We're taking the extra 5. There we go. So we're now 5835. 5835 against you at the back over to my left. First call, 5835. Second, third call, we'll get there a little bit quicker because he always goes on the third call. 5835, are we done? There we go. Told you if I got the third call out quicker, we'd get there. 584, 585. Maybe, yeah, go to 585 because then you've got the zeros at the end, not the 500. It might be luck. 585 to my left. We go now. 585 first, second, third and final call. 585. Are we done and silent? Permission to sell. We're good. Definitely. Well, there you go. The 000 was the good luck, sir, because if there's no further bidding, no further movement, at 585,000, ladies and gentlemen, we're selling, sold, 585,000.
When I first started in real estate, I was an assistant, just learning, observing, and soaking up everything that I could about the industry. I was very fresh from school, obviously didn't know too much about the industry at all. However, I just loved being able to get out and about, chat with people in the community, and help them with their next step. Over the years, I've worked hard, not just to build my knowledge, but also my relationships with clients, colleagues, and the community. After many transactions, I've learned that the industry is not just about property, it's more about people and helping them move to the next chapter of their lives. Now, running my own team, I feel proud of the changes I've gone through in the last 5 years. Every sale, every milestone, and every happy client has shaped where I am today and makes me grateful for all the amazing people I have met over the journey. I'm passionate about constantly growing and having goals to work towards, not just at work, but also personally. Outside of work, my partner and I have been able to do a renovation, sell it, and at the moment, we're currently building our next home, which is pretty exciting. Growing up in Bendigo, I'm lucky to have my family close by. I love spending time with them, my friends, and my two pups, Rio and Lenny. I also do love to travel when I get some time away. I've always believed that putting in extra work and genuine care is really what makes the difference between just doing the job or really helping where I can. Whether it's helping a first home buyer, guiding a family through their next move, or an investor trusting us to help find their right property, I'll put in the extra effort to do what I can to make it a seamless process.
How did you find the auction process working with Arabella and Delaney? How did you find that process?
Excellent, honestly. They're very, very good.
Working in the industry for the past 5 years has just been the beginning. I'm Delaney from Ray White Bendigo, and I look forward to helping you with your next sale or purchase.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, property number 2 this evening, as you've seen in the video there, 80 Arnold Street in Bendigo. Described on certificate of title, volume 11442, folio 236. Once again, the contract has been on display, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of this evening and the campaign. Once again, a very simple contract, unconditional, 10% deposit upon signing tonight, and that balance due between 30 and 60 days, unless there's been some prior arrangements made with our office. Location is everything, ladies and gentlemen, and the location of 80 Arnold Street is nothing but perfection. Just moments from the Bendigo Hospital, the CBD, it presents a genuine opportunity in the Bendigo marketplace. Solid property sitting on that generous allotment, the flexibility, professional consulting rooms, medical use, investment, whatever you might want to do. The exposure, the accessibility and the proximity to absolutely everything that Bendigo has to offer, ladies and gentlemen. So I turn it over to you now once again for 80 Arnold Street, where do we see a fair and reasonable opening bid or offer for this perfect picture right in the heart of town. Another quiet start. That's okay, that's how most auctions go. It's just more reason for me to talk that little bit longer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there's no one in the room looking to bid this evening, we're happy to kick things off on a vendor bid, ladies and gentlemen. If there is any interest in the room, we'll commence the proceedings tonight with a vendor bid at $650,000 with me and the vendor. Ladies and gentlemen, $650,000 on a vendor bid. Where do we see a rise from $650,000, ladies and gentlemen? First, second, third call at $650,000. Is there no interest, no bidding? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no bidding, we'll be able to pass the property in on a vendor bid. If you are here interested to have a look at the property, make a bid now, because then you'll get that exclusive right to have a look at the vendor's reserve price, ladies and gentlemen. Just put you in the box seat to be able to start that negotiation. We'll call it down one more time, ladies and gentlemen, at $650,000, $650,000 with me and the vendor. First, second, third and final call. We're all done and silent in the room. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll be doing, we'll pass the property in on a vendor bid at $650,000. If you're here under conditional, have a chat to Delaney and she'll be able to have a chat further.
G'day, my name is Brad Warren. I'm a proud lifelong Bendigo local. I was born here, went to school here, raised my family here, and for the last 30 years I've spent my working career in sales, customer service and hospitality. For 20 of those years now, my family and I have been beautifully supported by the Bendigo community in our own businesses. Firstly in a DVD rental store. You remember them? We then moved on to running our own hotel right here in California Gully. Customer service is a passion of mine. I base my career on making people happy. Recently, I've joined the team at Ray White Bendigo. And my focus is on becoming an agent people can rely on and trust.
My experience with Brad was great. We went out for coffee, talked about prices, and within 8 days, the property had sold for max asking price.
Outside of work, it's all about family and friends, conversations that matter and advice you can trust. And for me, the best conversations start over a good cuppa. And that's something Bendigo has plenty of. I'm passionate about people, my community, and helping clients achieve their property goals.
Would I use Brad's services in the future? Yes, absolutely I will. He's been great to deal with, easy to talk to.
So if you need experience and advice you can rely on, well, it's as easy as a coffee and a chat. That's where the best conversations start.
Ladies and gentlemen, property number 3 this evening, our third and final opportunity for you to own another piece of Bendigo real estate. Described on certificate of title, volume 057544, folio 693. But as you saw in the beautiful video just presented, it's known to everyone as One Bamboo Court in Strathfield Say. Again, the contract sale has been on display for the evening and available throughout the course of the campaign. But once again, a very simple contract, ladies and gentlemen, unconditional, calling for a 10% deposit upon signing this evening, with settlement to be in that short 30 days unless otherwise prior arrangements have been made through Matt and his team at Ray White. What more can we say about Strathfield Say, ladies and gentlemen? It is one of Bendigo's most sought after family suburbs. This home delivers space, comfort, lifestyle, everything that you could possibly want on that one beautiful block. The 4 bedrooms, the 2 bathrooms and the garage, providing that ideal layout for the growing families. Strathfield Say just continues to be one of Bendigo's strongest performing suburbs and has done for many, many years and will continue to do so for many more years to come. So ladies and gentlemen, it's property number 3, the final property for the night. Let's finish strong tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we see a fair and reasonable opening bid or offer for this beautiful property over in Bamboo? Silence once again. Absolutely they do, Matt Connolly. The first bidder, more often than not, buys. Ladies and gentlemen, 650 will take the 650 out the back over there and looking for a rise now of 20. 650 at the back of the room over there, ladies and gentlemen, looking now for 670. 650 at the back, 670 anywhere in the room. Where do we go from here? 650, first call, 650 out the back. 670 over here to my left, against you now. We're 670 over here. Do we go 690 at the back over here? 670 here, looking for 690 now. 670 over to my left over here, ladies and gentlemen. Cheap at twice that price, I would imagine, nearly, I reckon, Liam. Very, very cheap. You might have bought the roof. There we go, 690. We're not quite at the reserve yet. Can we get to 680? I'll take 680 at this point. Can we go 680? 680 now against you. Do we go to 690 from here? 680 in the front. 690 looking now anywhere in the room or further. We can go to 700 from here, ladies and gentlemen. 680 at the front of the room over here. First call at 680. 690 now. Do we go to 700 from here? We're at 690 at the middle over here. 690, ladies and gentlemen. First call at 690. 700 over here at the back against you now. We're at 700 over here at the back. Do we go to 710 from here? So 700 at the back of the room over here, ladies and gentlemen. 7 and a lot of zeros. I like it. It's a nice round number. It's easy for me to remember, ladies and gentlemen. Do we go to 710 from here? 710 back at you now, 720. 710 to my left over here, ladies and gentlemen. Do we go to 720 from here? Would it help make your decision easier, ladies and gentlemen, if I said we were on the market at this point and we're selling, the keys are in the pocket over here at 710. Any bid from here would put you in front and put the keys in your pocket. 710. Over to my left over here, do we see any rise from 710, ladies and gentlemen? 715 we'll take. Do you go 720?
Sorry, so we're on the market?
We are on the market. Absolutely, we're on the market. Yeah. 715. Do we go 720 and see where we go from there? 715 at the back. We'll take those bids from here, ladies and gentlemen. 715 at the back of the room. We'll go first time for 715. 720 here now against you both. 720. Do we go 725 from here? 720 over on my left in the middle, ladies and gentlemen. 720. Where do we go from here, ladies and gentlemen? Happy to take your rises and your bids from here because we are selling it away tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 720. First call at 720. 721, we're going to go in ones, but that's okay. 721, we'll take it from here. Every 1,000 is 1,000 more in our vendor's pocket, and I'm more than happy with that, ladies and gentlemen. 721 over here in the middle. First call, 722, they're straight back at you. The ones might not work at this point. 723, I thought you were going to do that. 723 now, do we go 725 to round me off? It'll make it a little bit easier. 725, thank you very much. It's much easier to work in fives than ones for me. My maths ain't that good. 730. There we go. Now you see what we've done. We're back here now. 730 over here. 730 over to my left in the middle. Where do we go now? 735 against both of you now. 730. First call at 730. Second call at 730. Are you guys definitely out? Are you looking to go further from here? Because we're 730 on a second call. We're nearly done. 730. 731, 735 at the back behind you there. 735 at the back. New bidder coming in. Good luck to you, sir. 735 at the back. Where do we go now? 736, 750. Why not? 735 at the back of the room over here, ladies and gentlemen. First call. 736 will take it. 740, here we go. He's going up in the bigger ones. The ones won't work. 740, do you go 745 now and see if that helps? 741, 45? 45, there we go, I told you. 750 over here now, there we go. 55 at the back, this is where we go. I like this now. 755 at the back against you, sir. 760 now. 755 at the back of the room, ladies and gentlemen. First call at 755. Second call at 755, make no mistake, we're going to be selling it away here, ladies and gentlemen. Third and final call, 755 at the back of the room. There we go, 56. 60. 760 at the back over here. 62, where do we go now? We're at 62 at the back now. There's a lot of people going around here, ladies and gentlemen. I like this. 62 at the back of the room. Where are we going now? 65 we are now. 67, we're going to go back to the ones. 767 at the back now. 770 to round me off would be lovely. 767 at the back. We'll go again. First call at 767. 770 now. 72. He's coming straight back over the top of you. 772 out the back. First call. Second call, 772. 73. 75. There we go. I like it. 76. 780 now. How are we going over here, guys? We're at 780 at the back of the room and against you guys down here as well. You've been with me from the beginning. 81, 82. 85, there we go. Thanks very much. 785 at the back now. 785, first, second, third and final call, 785. Are we all done? All finished? All silent? Did he just ask for a discount? Is he aware how auctions work? The numbers go up, not down. 785, we'll give you a moment if you need to have a think. Rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, I'd give them a moment to think if I was selling any of your properties here as well. We'd take a 500 if you wanted to do a 500. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if we're all done and silent, it looks like we've got a new owner of Bamboo Court out in Strathfield, say. First, second, third and final call. Are we all done? All silent? Definitely. Permission to sell? 100%. Oh, you've hung up the phone, so I think you're done. Definitely. 100%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, oh, hang on, here we go. 88, there we go. Hold on to a little bit. 89. Do we go 90? 7, 8, 9 at the back now. 92. 792 at the front, definitely done now. 792 at the front. We're going to go around again, ladies and gentlemen. 792, first, second, third and final call, 792. Are we all done? All silent? Definitely. He's just seeking instructions from the boss. 95, there we go. 795. Done at 795, definitely. Okay. We'll go again. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. 795. First, second, third and final call. Matt! Permission? Permission to sell, sir. We're done. Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do finally have a new owner at Bamboo Court. $795,000 because we are selling selling. Definitely, 100%. We sure? We are sold. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another Ray White Bendigo in-room auction event. To our successful bidders tonight, congratulations. Our underbidders, commiserations. I'm sure the right property is right there for you. Have a chat to our team. Jesse, thank you once again for an amazing night. We'll see you back out here at the next one, ladies and gentlemen.